Good Monday evening, everyone. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Valley's geekiest weather video. Let's get right to it this evening. On August the 1st, it's the first day of the final month of meteorological summer. A reminder: we consider meteorological summer to be June, July, and August. As weather folk, we like to divide up our seasons a little bit differently than kind of the traditional or astronomical seasons. This way, the records are a little tidier to keep because, of course, the astronomical seasons don't start and end on exactly the same days every year. There's a little variation there by a day or two. This makes the record keeping a little bit easier, and it goes a little more by climatology. In other words, meteorological summer is the three warmest months of the year: June, July, and August. Same thing with winter, spring, and autumn. Our average high today on the first day of August is 81. We'll slip a few degrees towards the end of the month. By August 31st, our average high down to 78 degrees. So the downward slide is gentle at first. Of course, these averages will change quickly as we head into autumn. Look how much faster the averages slide as you get into the autumn season. Much bigger chunks taken away as you get into September and into October. All right, one of the other things you may be starting to notice, it's starting to become a little bit noticeable how much daylight we're losing. We're losing over 2 minutes per day now. And here's a look at what you can expect as far as the change in daylight over the rest of the year. By September 1st, we're down to about 13 hours and 7 minutes, about an hour and 13 minutes less than right now. And as we go into fall, of course, the days get shorter and shorter. So by Halloween, we're down to 10 hours and 25 minutes. And the shortest day of the year, on December 21st this year, only 9 hours and 12 minutes of daylight. So 5 hours and 8 minutes is the daylight difference between now and the shortest day of the year. All right, taking a look back at the last 30 summers in Youngstown, and again, this considers June, July, and August to be summer. Of course, as expected, this has been a warm summer, warmer than the last three. Now, I don't have 2016 plotted up here just yet because the summer's not over, but I can tell you we're running at about 70.4, I think, 70.5 degrees this summer, putting us very close to both 2011 and 2012. The last few years have been at or below average in the summer season, with 3 warm summers in a row, 2010, 11, and 12, and this summer is much more like those few summers. And hey, that was our forecast that we put out in May, that this summer would be different than the last few. What about the month of August? As we wrap up meteorological summer, I'm expecting the general trends of the summer season to continue. It's going to stay warmer than average for most of the month. Now, will there be a cooler than average day sprinkled in? Sure, but when we add it all up at the end of the month, should be another warmer than average month. And unfortunately, it also is likely to be a drier than average month. Now, July's numbers are going to be a little deceiving. Actually, July is going to go into the record books as above average in the rain department because of what happened the last 2 days of the month. That pushed us above. Of course, before the last few days of the month, it was a very dry month. But the numbers are a little skewed. Could that happen again in August? Yeah, sure. But as it stands right now on the first day of the month, we think overall the month as a whole will be pretty dry. If we get a day where we get 2 inches of rain with heavy thunderstorms, that could skew the record books again. July was dry, no matter what the record books say. Just because we had a couple of wet days at the end doesn't make the whole month wet. All right, on this first day of August, it was a little warmer than average. Again, 81's our average high. We reached 84 this afternoon, 85 in Cleveland. It was 87 in Pittsburgh. Now, the showers today were quite a bit more sparse or less numerous than over the weekend. They were particularly concentrated north of I-80 and Trumbull, and particularly in Mercer County, about 2/3 of an inch worth of rain in and around Mercer. But otherwise, amounts were pretty paltry. We had a couple of showers, especially around Vienna. I think the airport registered about 0.15, and heading up into kind of the eastern half or eastern third of Trumbull County, right along the Ohio-PA border. We had some showers around today. We've had some fog the last few mornings. I think there could be some fog again tomorrow morning, especially if you got some rain today. But even in areas that didn't get rain today, there's still a lot of low-level moisture hanging around, and we'll get one of those inversions aloft, trapping the moisture. And so I wouldn't be shocked if we had some locally dense fog tomorrow morning. Not everyone will have it, but some will. And whatever we have tomorrow morning as far as fog goes, it'll be long gone by midday. We're not into October, so the fog this time of the year generally burns off pretty fast. As you get deeper into fall, the fog could last until 9, 10, even 11 o'clock some days. This time of the year, it's harder to get it that long. Usually it's gone by 8 or 9 at the latest. Dew points are going to mix out pretty nicely tomorrow. Now, this isn't going to be a huge sweeping change, but we've had dew points in the upper 60s a lot of the last few days. I think some drier air gets involved tomorrow, and dew points will probably mix down to at least the lower 60s, if not upper 50s in some spots. So while tomorrow's going to be a warm day, get a break from the humidity, and dew points are going to start creeping up again as we go into Wednesday. And look off to our west. By Wednesday evening, we're talking some 70-degree dew points trying to get involved again. And if we don't hit 70 in the dew point department Wednesday, I do think we will hit it at the end of the week. We'll come awfully close. But look what happens in time for the weekend. Cold front's going to come through on Friday. That's our next decent chance for rain. I can't totally rule out a passing shower Thursday. I'll show you why in just a second. But next decent chance for rain's Friday and Friday night with our cold front. And then, ooh, that looks like a nice clean sweep. We should see the air mass clear out really nicely just in time for the weekend. And it's not going to be all that hot. Lower 80s, low humidity, sunshine. Really looks like a nice summer weekend coming up. All right, back here in the near term. Again, tomorrow turns out sunny after the foggy start. Wednesday, I'm not buying what the model is selling here. It's trying to spit out a little precipitation with a little disturbance or a boundary. I don't think that's realistic. I think it's still fairly sunny Wednesday. And again, the modeling, particularly here, the RPM model's trying to give us a little bit of shower activity Thursday with the warm front. I think the chances are low enough. I did not include it in the forecast. The temperature trend next 10 days, again, we go back to average. Not below average probably, but around average for the weekend and into Monday, and then it looks to warm up again towards the middle and latter portions of next week. It is a warm pattern, not a pattern that's going to favor 2 or 3 or 4 consecutive cooler than average days. It just doesn't look like that kind of pattern. We haven't been in that pattern all summer, and again, I'm expecting that to continue for the month of August. That'll do it for Weather Geeks tonight. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Have a great rest of this Monday night.